Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Cara Shirley. I'm your digital news desk host here today to go over some of the stories, the news that has happened here in Jackson over the past 24 to 48 hours. We are also in the process of watching a court case that is happening today, and I'm talking like this because I'm looking at my screen trying to make sure I'm getting everything right for you. All right, so there is also a court case that is happening right now in Hinds County at the Hinds County Courthouse, and it is for a 17-year-old by the name of Ishan Green, who was charged with capital murder in two different instances that have happened over the past couple of years. He will be going before a judge today, actually going before the judge here in the next few minutes. And as soon as that begins to happen, we're going to take you straight to the courtroom so that you can watch this, see what happens. It is a sentencing hearing for him. I believe he was involved, Ashawn Green was involved in the death of a 12-year-old little boy that happened back in 2022 during Thanksgiving. His name is Markel Noah. And actually, I have his picture here, which I'm going to show you real quick. So this is Markel and his mother on the screen right here. Markel was killed in 2022, Thanksgiving of 2022. He was 12 years old. Ishan Green is also facing charges on, let's see, he is facing charges in connection to a carjacking that happened as well, and that happened in 2023. So we are watching for them to go into the courtroom for the court to get started, and as soon as that begins, we're going to take you straight into there. Again, they're in Hinds County Courthouse today. So Pamela Thompson joining. Hello, Pamela. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good afternoon to you. If you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching, you're here checking out because of the other stories I told you about, but you're really interested in this court case, please share it share the live stream so that others that are watching or that you think might be interested in watching this, they can tune in as well. So appreciate all of you tuning in. Janet Williams saying good afternoon. Good afternoon, Janet. And then Janet Parrott. It's the afternoon of Janet's. Janet Parrott saying, hey, Janet. So nice to see you all. So I appreciate every last one of you for tuning in. Before we jump into the news, like I said, we're watching the court. As soon as it begins, we're going to take you in there. But before we go into all that, let's talk about some other stuff that has happened here in our area over the past couple of days. So what we have first is there's been a something that has been developing out of Warren County this afternoon, and that is 20-year-old. Me and getting all of my stuff pulled up for you guys. Here he is. So 20-year-old Devon Turnip of Vicksburg was arrested on Monday. He is accused of shooting into an occupied dwelling. So the charge is from an incident that happened on Saturday. Turpin appeared in the Vicksburg Municipal Court on yesterday. His bond has been set at $300,000 over there. There's also the special election has been set, the date for the special election for the Jackson City Council for Ward 2, which was vacated by former Councilwoman Angelique Lee. So that election is going to happen October 1st. So the qualifying process to run for that seat begins today. If you want to run for the seat, you have to have lived within Ward 2 for at least 2 years. You also need a petition signed by at least 50 qualified voters within Ward 2, and it must be submitted at least 20 days before the special election. Again, the election is set for the 1st of October. The runoff, if there is a runoff needed, it's going to happen 3 weeks later on October 22nd. So if you want to vote in this special election, but you're not yet registered to vote, you have to you have to register to vote before the end of this month. So remember that. Get your voter registration up to date. You can complete that process in the municipal clerk's office, which is going to be open all next week from 8 to 5, and it's going to be open from 8 until noon on the deadline day, which is Saturday, August 31st. Look here, let me check into the courtroom real quick so we don't miss anything. No, the judge has not come in yet. Okay. A little breaking news behind the scenes for you guys here. Julia Haney saying good afternoon. Good afternoon to you as well, Julia. Thank you so much for watching today. WLBT Plus here on this. What day is it? It is Tuesday, only Tuesday, the 20th of August. Can you believe that we are almost done with August? I cannot. But yet, here we are. So, all of you, I'm sure, are very much aware of the tire fire, which sounds weird to say, but the tire fire that is going on here in Jackson. The fire started on Saturday, and it was at a tire recycling facility that the fire began. We do have some video of it for you, some of our drone footage. You can see that here. And that's it, just smoldering and burning. Firefighters have been out there around the clock. And really, what their main job or their main goal right now is to just keep it contained. Then you have to keep it contained, keep it from spreading. Because a fire burning all of those tires is, well, it's just going to take a lot to get it out. But there are a lot of people that are asking, how is this impacting the environment, the air quality, and things such as that? So, Deputy Chief Cleotha Sanders says the fire is under control, but that fires do take some time to extinguish. He says this whole process could take up to 2 weeks. So, with help from other agencies, Jackson firefighters are also working to minimize damage to the environment. And despite all the smoke that does continue to rise from the scene, the EPA and the State Department of Environmental Quality says that there is currently no current threat to public health. I've hit the wrong button. Are y'all surprised about that? Probably not. So they're saying that there is no current threat to public health with this. Let's see. Let me put this back where it's supposed to go. So let's hear from those officials that say that.
We've had a team doing community air monitoring since the fire started. The readings that we've gotten for the constituents of concern you have during a fire like this have came back below action levels. Those action levels would be something that we would give back to the fire department if they had to issue a shelter in place or evacuations or anything like that.
So they're saying there is no current environment or danger to the environment quality. There's also currently no word on what started the fire, what caused the fire. Sanders says a gas line may have played a role, but that has not yet been confirmed. So see you guys here. Well, let's see, we got some all the way from Germany. Wow, thank you so much for tuning in. Mia McIntyre saying hello. Hello, Mia. Wanda, good afternoon to you as well. And Miss Sandra tuning in again today. Good afternoon, Miss Sandra. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, we are waiting right now. Hitting wrong buttons again, guys. Bless my heart. So we are waiting for the court case to begin for Ishan White. It makes it look like I don't know what I'm doing. I swear I do. All right, so we're waiting for the court to begin for Ishan White. You can see into the courtroom right here, Hinds County courtroom. He is 17 years old and he is facing capital murder charges related to the death of a 12-year-old little boy in 2022. We got the judge that is there in right now. Let them know that the audio is staticky, so they can be aware of that. But we are watching this court case to see what happens. All right. So sent that message, let them know that they've got their audio a little messed up so they can get that fixed for us before we fully go into the courtroom there. All right. All right. So crazy day. That's what happens. Breaking news happens. Stuff happens last minute. Kind of go with the flow a little bit, change gears and work on the fly here. All right, so we'll get to some more news of things that have happened here in Jackson. You heard about the mass shooting, I'm sure, that happened at the Daiquiri Bar in downtown Jackson. Well, according to the Capitol Police, they're saying you can expect to see a larger police presence there in downtown, especially in the aftermath of this shooting. One person was killed, 5 other people were injured outside the Daiquiri Bar, which is on Capitol Street. So the State Department of Public Safety identified the person who was killed as 25-year-old Niger Devon McGee. The names of the victims who were injured have not yet been released, but they range in age from 19 to age 24. Capitol Police Chief Bo Luckey says that his department is re-examining how it covers the downtown area, especially on Friday and Saturday nights. No suspect or motive has been identified at this time in the Daiquiri Bar shooting.
People that resort to this type of violence in these types of situations, they're nothing more than cowards. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. Anybody that's going to walk into an establishment as crowded as this one was and just open fire for something that probably was a minor reason, that's a coward's way of handling things.
So the Daiquiri Bar does remain closed for now. Chief Luckey says that they did have security on the night of the shooting, and he says that the owners are cooperating with law enforcement. Chief Luckey is also responding to some claims that a security guard threatened a woman and her family with a gun at Jackson Water headquarters on Fortification Street. We told you about this story last week. She spoke to the city council about issues that her and her family had been experiencing in relation to water service at their home and Jackson Water. The individual stated that she was her family was threatened by the security guard, as well as Ted Hennepin with Jackson Water. So Jackson Water has no office that is open to the public, but the resident, Cassandra Davis, told city council members that she did go to the building after the service at her Lexington Avenue home was shut off.
While we were on scene talking to the complainant, they said specifically the security guard did not pull a gun on us. So I don't know who's saying that. I don't know where that information is coming from. The complainant that called us said that did not happen. And then at the end of the exchange with the Capitol Police and the Water Department and the complainant, nobody wished to file any reports. They were happy with the resolutions that were set forth.
So the alleged disturbance happened at the Jackson Water Department building on August 13th. But that is, according to Chief Luckey, the incident did not happen in the way that it was reported to have happened. So we'll keep following that. If anything else happens with that, we will let you know about it. So let's talk about Carly Gregg. We told you about Carly Gregg yesterday. She was in court yesterday for what is called a settlement conference. And basically, the judge wanted to meet with them regarding some discoveries that should have already been turned in from the defense's doctors that had examined Carly Gregg. So she, of course, was accused of killing her mother and shooting her stepfather in Rankin County back in March. And the doctor told the court yesterday that the 15-year-old, she was 14 when the crime happened, but the 15-year-old is competent to stand trial. So that is when investigators, the doctor who was called by prosecutors, took the stand to confirm those results. She also confirmed that medicines in the 15-year-old system may or may not have, excuse me, y'all. There we go. May or may not have led to her behavior back in March. That's when investigators say Carly Gregg killed her mother, Ashley Smiley, and shot her stepfather. This is her mother right here on the screen for you. So the defense has another doctor that is going to be evaluating the teenager. His name was Dr. Adams, I believe. So Greg's attorney says they are still waiting on the report from their doctor, even though Judge Dewey Author ordered for it to be done by July 22nd, actually. Now, both sides must have all of their evidence or their discovery turned in today by close of business. And if it is not turned in today, and if they do not show proof that they turned it in today, certified proof that they turned in today, it will not be able to be used in court. Any of their discovery, any of their evidence or court records, if it's not by close of business today, it will not be allowed into court. And here.
If they're not in the discovery tomorrow, they're not going to come in. The purpose of discovery is to reach the truth. It is not to ambush either side. Now, I'm going to be frank. If the young lady was suffering from a mental defect or an illness or medication, then she should be set free. But if she's not, that is a perilous argument. The jury's going to make this decision.
So, as you heard the judge there saying that if she was suffering from a mental defect or illness or medication, then she should be set free. So we're going to continue to follow this. Like we said, they were supposed to have their discovery turned in by the close of business today. We will find out if that happens. They also asked about a possible plea agreement. The judge author asked them about the possible plea agreement, and they said that there was not one as of court yesterday, but that one was not out of the question. It's not out of the picture. But the judge says that must be decided on by this Thursday. So the judge also reminded the defense that the teenager could possibly spend the rest of her life in prison if a jury finds her guilty. Trial for that is set to begin in September. Now, one thing that we noticed when we were watching this yesterday, watching the hearing live here on WLBT Plus, and a lot of you guys pointed it out, is Carly Gregg looking back behind her attorney and winking at someone in the audience. A lot of you see the audience in the crowd there. And from our reporter who was in the courtroom when that happened, she says the people who were sitting over in that side was Carly's family. But a lot of you did not see the wink, didn't believe it happened. Here it is for you. And there you go. So is it wrong for her to do that? I don't know. I don't know that. But what I do know is that it did happen, and it could not look good for her in cases, depending upon someone's opinion of that. But we're going to be watching, making sure those discoveries were turned in today. We're going to be watching to see if there will be a plea deal that happens on Thursday. The deadline for that will be Thursday. And if a plea deal is not reached and Carly does go to trial next month, we will be there watching that as well. I do believe we're going to be in the courtroom. There's another date, and I don't remember that right off my head, but we're going to be following this case till the end, until we get a determination of what is going to happen with Carly. Whether she's going to trial, is she going to take a plea deal? We'll follow it, and we will definitely let you know about it. So a biological mother of two brothers who were missing here in Jackson is now being charged with kidnapping. So the Jackson Police Department say 25-year-old Montriana Rattler is facing charges. You may remember the missing child alert that was issued on Friday for her 4- and 5-year-old sons. Several hours after the alert was issued, she brought both boys to JPD headquarters. The two children have been released to their grandmother's custody, who is their legal guardian. So thankfully, the boys are safe. Back with the legal guardian, but the mother will be facing some charges now because she was not their legal guardian when she took them, which caused the missing and endangered child alert to go off. So we've told you a lot about Talimara Hall here in Jackson. Well, we found out that some leaders here in the capital city are considering issuing a bond to address issues at the Talimara Hall and various public libraries. So the city's chief financial officer is saying, let me turn my volume down. I've got so many screens going, guys. It's a lot. It takes a little bit to click through it. I apologize for that. So the city's chief financial officer says issuing a bond could help support some of the capital infusion that needs to happen. This discussion is coming up at more budget presentations. So the head of the Jackson/Hines library system is asking for an increase of $50,000 over last year's budget allocation to address structural issues. And that request is just under $2 million. Library system officials say the heating and cooling system is the top problem with most of the branches. So we're going to follow that and we'll let you guys know. Hopefully they can be able to get something done. Janet says, I saw it a wink, but it could have been an eye clearing. You know, it could have been. You are right, Janet. So it could have been that. Let's see. Makia says, so much has been going on until I'm not able to keep up with it all, but I'm praying for all involved in any of these cases. Thank you so much. And Dana Burns says, both sides have been lacking. The judge is correct. And yes, yeah, I do believe that the judge was very correct in a lot of the things that he stated, as far as, especially when he was speaking on the purpose of discovery. That the purpose of the discovery is to reach the truth. It's not to ambush either side. And he said that in response to Carly Gregg's attorney, Kevin Camp. You may recognize him and his name from the Beth Ann White trial. But Kevin Camp spoke that that he actually had until 10 days before the trial to turn in the discovery or the report from the doctor that they are having to examine Carly. And the judge said, no, that is not the case. He said, in response to that, the purpose of discovery is to reach the truth. It's not to ambush either side. It's to help protect Carly and to help make sure there is a fair trial that happens. Either way, that is, the judge said in other statements there in the courtroom, that the thing that he was most concerned about is making sure that it was a fair trial on both sides so that the right verdict can be issued here. So we're going to continue to follow it, and we'll know by Thursday if a trial is going to be happening. Let's put it that way. We'll know by Thursday, maybe Friday, if a trial is going to be happening. And if that trial does happen, we will definitely be there. So I don't think that we're going to be able to go into the courtroom today. Let me check it one more time before I make sure that I'm not telling you guys a fib. All right, we got some good sound now. All right, so we're going into the courtroom right now. It appears that it was a car accident on July 5th. He was here for last school day. Right, he was here in Shirley. I just want to give you guys an update again. So the court case that we are in right now, the court that we're in is the Hines County Courthouse. And this is a 17-year-old, Sean Green, is facing charges, capital murder charges, related to two separate incidents. One was the murder of a 12-year-old little boy who was shot and killed in November of 2022, around Thanksgiving Day. And the other case is a carjacking that happened in January, where a person was killed in that carjacking. So we're going to take you back into the courtroom now. This is a status conference.
There are any Wlbt, Your Honor, so Mr. Eubanks wishes to remain on trial for the will. And we will reach out conference scheduled October 30th.
Trial, pre-trial conference October 30th. State evidence.
I realized that the Muir case was just transferred to our docket recently, I think, to the Speaker's courtroom. And then seeing that, I was trying to get some information today. It looks like he was let out on behind this charge and committed a crime. Then, got on that crime and committed an additional crime. So based on that information, when I pull out the state doesn't file a motion to revoke funds and this matters until we proceed forward with the trial. And upon reviewing those matters at that time, I will try to submit to council office a global offer.
Okay. And this global offer needs to give, it needs to include the drug court matter.
Yes, sir.
Please see now, in drug court, offers consider drug court matter.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next is Sean Green. Sean Green. We have a trial date in this matter, November 4th, pre-trial conference, October 30th. Mr. Ruth, do you have anything at this time?
No, Your Honor, we were recently engaged in plea negotiations with the state, originally yesterday evening. So we don't have anything to report to the court in that regard just yet. Other than we will ask that Mr. Green is currently in counsel in Tallahassee County. I would ask the court to order that he remain here at least until the pre-trial conference date, so that I can more efficiently be able to speak with him and review his case and any offers made about the state.
All right, this is the order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so anything from the state on this matter? All right, so if you don't get it resolved, it's a matter ready to trial on the report.
We will be, Your Honor, yes.
All right, and we'll leave it down to trial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Marcus Green. He is there,
Okay, and what we just heard there is Sean Green did go before the judge. His attorney spoke about there was some plea negotiations with the state, but nothing has happened with that. And I believe the judge said they were going to be going forward to trial. So we will follow that and watch that and let you know what happens there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for WLBT Plus. I know it was kind of a crazy topsy-turvy day and show here, but I appreciate you tuning in. I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So make sure you tune in for that. And make sure you tune in later on tonight, or this afternoon rather, at 2:30 as our weather team comes in, and they are going to be giving you details on your forecast and anything else you need to know about that is weather related. You guys have a great day. Thank you again for tuning in and sticking with me, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all.